Please be seated.
Detachment, order, halt! Bring your units to order arms and parade around.
Order! Halt! Halt! Right! Hit! Order! Halt! Parade! Hit! Order! Halt! Parade! Hit!
Lieutenant Colonel Warner and Command Sergeant Major Stokes will now present the awards. For having distinguished himself by his exceptional leadership and instructional abilities, the outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle of Company C, 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant Carlos Lemery from New York, New York. A bouquet of flowers is now being presented to Mrs. Lemery in recognition of her dedication, devotion, and perseverance in support of her husband's outstanding achievement. For having demonstrated exceptional leadership abilities, the outstanding soldier leader of the cycle is Specialist Jennifer Whitaker from Gainesville, Florida. Specialist Whitaker and all soldier leaders of the cycle are receiving certificates of commendation from the Association of the United States Army in their free membership. For having demonstrated superior performance of duty, the outstanding soldier of the cycle is Specialist Mary Degrenier from Rockland, Massachusetts. Specialist Degrenier and all soldiers of the cycle are receiving certificates of commendation from the Association of the United States Army in their free membership. For attaining the highest score in basic rifle marksmanship, hitting 39 out of a possible 40 targets, are Privates Cornelius Hart from Del City, Oklahoma. And Alexander Lucht from Bloomington, Minnesota.
Right. Forward. Forward.
For having distinguished himself by his exceptional leadership and instructional abilities, the outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle of Company D, 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant Theodore I. Knight from Richmond, Virginia. A bouquet of flowers is now being presented to Mrs. Knight in recognition of her dedication, devotion, and perseverance in support of her husband's outstanding achievement. For having demonstrated exceptional leadership abilities, the outstanding soldier leader of the cycle is Specialist Valerie Raza from Marietta, Georgia. For having demonstrated superior performance of duty, the outstanding soldier of the cycle is Specialist Stephen Helmendaller from Bluefield, West Virginia. For attaining the highest score in basic rifle marksmanship, hitting 39 out of a possible 40 targets, are the following soldiers: Specialist James Jaros from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Private Jason Bowman from Winter Park, Florida. For attaining the highest score on the end of cycle physical training test, scoring 297 out of a possible 300 points, is Specialist Jonathan Abuan from Sunrise, Florida.
Right. Feet. Forward. Forward.
For having distinguished himself by his exceptional leadership and instructional abilities, the outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle of Company E, 1st Battalion 28th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant James L. Mitchell from Chico, California. A bouquet of flowers is now being presented to Mrs. Mitchell in recognition of her dedication, devotion, and perseverance in support of her husband's outstanding achievement. For having demonstrated exceptional leadership abilities, the outstanding soldier leader of the cycle is Specialist Jeffrey Lance from Fort Smith, Arkansas. For having demonstrated superior performance of duty, the outstanding soldier of the cycle is Private John Kinsey from Lockport, New York. For attaining the highest score in basic rifle marksmanship, hitting 38 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Brian Parker from Brunswick, Ohio. For attaining the highest score on the end-of-cycle physical training test, scoring 295 out of a possible 300 points, is Private Mia Paradise from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. For demonstrating outstanding performance of duty while supporting the unit soldier training program, the battalion's Training Support of the Cycle Award is presented to Staff Sergeant Michael Visconti. Staff Sergeant Visconti is an instructor of basic rifle marksmanship. Qualification, range 18. For exceptional professionalism and dedication to excellence in support of the effective accomplishment of the unit's total mission, the Battalion's Service Support of the Cycle Award is presented to Mr. Carl Lafayette. Mr. Lafayette works at the Department of Public Works in the reception branch. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Jerry B. Warder, Commander of the 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment.
Before I begin the graduation remarks, I'd like to ask that assembled persons here take just a minute to recognize and pray for those killed or injured in the Oklahoma City tragedy. We wish them our best from Fort Jackson. Thank you. General Mrs. Bolt, Colonel Mrs. Roper, Colonel Krieger, Colonel Joseph, Sergeant Major Lopez, distinguished guests, our friends of the 282nd Army Band, but most importantly, graduating soldiers, their friends and family. Today is a tremendous day for graduation. After long hours in the classroom, seemingly endless foot marches with heavy packs, the cold and the heat, sometimes both on the same day, and at least 1 million push-ups apiece, you all have made it to the graduation field today. No one did it for you, you can't buy it, and now no one can ever take it away from you. In a world that's full of cheap and easy solutions, you have accomplished something difficult and worthwhile. Today, your parents, families, the cadre of the Black Lions, and your country are all very proud of you. Along the way with your technical training, you've learned other important things. You've learned that you are physically and mentally tougher than you ever thought. You've learned confidence and poise. And you've learned to get along with people from all different walks of life and to work together as a team. You should see now that basic training doesn't destroy individuality. Rather, it exposes it, and it gives you the opportunity to really know yourself, see your strengths and weaknesses, and then to work to become a better person, citizen, and ultimately a soldier. Don't forget the things you learned here. Remember and apply them to the rest of your life. To our drill sergeants, well done. You continue to amaze us all with your tireless efforts to ensure that each and every person who arrives at basic training gets a fair chance to become a soldier. You've done a tremendous job this cycle with our trainees, and it's very apparent in the way that these fine soldiers are on the field today. It is your investment of time and leadership in your soldiers that's the single most important thing we do here. To the families and friends in the stands, our thanks for making the journey to celebrate this graduation. We know that the building of a soldier's character and their desire to succeed began long before their arrival here at Fort Jackson. Your support throughout their training has really made a big difference. And just to set the record straight, it is not a battalion policy that they must phone home collect. So don't let them get away with that. But we have really, truly been honored to have been given your trust in the care and training of your loved ones. So finally, men and women of Companies C, D, and E, 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry, as the newest members of our Army, the finest Army in the world, you will now begin your advance through the ranks. Many of you will become non-commissioned officers. Some may decide to become officers, and some of you will so proudly depart the Army after only a single enlistment. But your future has been brightened by what you have accomplished here. You have started down a path, although perhaps new to you, it has been well traveled by some of the greatest men and women America has known. And you've become a part of a legacy of men and women who have defended freedom throughout the world for over 200 years. American soldiers. I wish you continued success in your advanced individual training and all your future endeavors. Black Lions, first team, and victory starts here.
Our Constitution is a living document which is at work each day our country exists as a free and independent nation. Its freedoms are meant to be enjoyed by all. Yet, in all of its strength, our Constitution will only remain intact and alive through your determination and dedication to its continued existence. The uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. That uniform, those military personnel in the audience who wish to participate may do so.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders. Of the President of the United States. And the orders. Of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations. In the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Please be seated.
Others, move! March! After we go! And we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, Please remain in the bleachers and do not go onto the graduation field to take pictures. Family members transporting their soldiers from the graduation may pick them up at the far right of the bleachers upon the completion of today's ceremony. Passing the reviewing stand is the Commander of Troops, Major Michael E. Pygott, and his staff. The 282nd Army Victory Band, led by Chief Warrant Officer Bruce B. Smith. The drum major is Sergeant First Class Alan C. Strickland. Ladies and gentlemen, as the American flag approaches your location, please rise and remain standing until it has passed directly to your right. Company C, 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, commanded by Captain Hasty Biggs. Marching in the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant, First Sergeant Alexander Zeminski. The 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, Color Guard. Company D, 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, commanded by Captain Bruce Bryce. Marching in the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Joseph